Crystal here. It is the 30th of October 2018. It's 20 past 8 in the morning. I'm in my top floor flat. That is Old Road Car Park, Chatham, which is in Kent in the United Kingdom, opposite there. You can see the Great Lines. That is the War Memorial. Right at the top on the green, there's a war memorial on the Great Lines Heritage Park, Gillingham. You get a lovely view from my top floor flat. That's the best thing about my flat, is that you get a lovely view. Right, it's freezing cold today and it's damp, and I'm going to sit down for a second. Turn the news off there. I'll just have a sip of my coffee. Basically, yesterday I went out early, fairly early in the morning, not too early, just after my neighbour, and I walked into Chatham High Street, and I went straight into Sainsbury's, where they sell the ugly cans of drink. Nothing untoward was going on in there, and I got some bits and pieces for sandwiches to eat, and some donuts, my regular banana that I have every morning for breakfast, and some drink, and a Daily Express newspaper which had that the budget was going to be on yesterday. Philip Hammond was going to be on television telling us what he'd done for the country. So I then went into Chatham Library, sat down on the computer tables, uploaded my videos to YouTube, my balloon videos, etc. And apart from a few Asian men sitting at the bottom with a chair in between me, another Asian man opposite, the Asian man with the cap that usually is in the library every morning was leaving, because I remember now it was 10:15, and that Asian man stays in there from about 9:30 till 10:15 reading the papers. So he was coming out, I was going in. I didn't see any cars that were derogatory like og or ugh today or yesterday. Then I moved over to computer number 10. It was full in there yesterday morning, really quite full. So up the other end was a man that looked like Graham, bald and grey with glasses, sat next to a woman, and he went to the vending machine and got himself a drink, and they were cosy together. I didn't really want anybody to sit next to me, but a woman in a red coat came and sat at the next computer, computer number 11. She nudged my chair with her red bottom and her red coat. She was on the computer for about 2 seconds, printed something off, then she left. And then the chap who I call Norris, because he sounds, when he speaks, he sounds like Norris off of Coronation Street. He's a younger version of my father. He's chopped his hair off, and he's got a beard and glasses, and he wears the same jumper nearly every day. And he was in there with his mum and his brother, and his mum was wearing the green leggings that I've done in a video. And I'm not being nasty, this is not being horrible, but they all smelt. They all smelt like they hadn't had a bath for about 2 months, or they hadn't wiped their backside. The smell was horrific. It made me gag. People were moving away from that bloke because the brother sat next to me and he stank, and I felt ill. But I didn't want to have to leave the library early. But they obviously got him to sit next to me because it looked like I smelt. But every time Norris comes in, he smells, and it's quite a potent, horrible smell. And I remember sitting next to him one week and having to come home because it made me feel violently sick. Um, People weren't saying anything, and you don't. They're probably poor, but he's the chap that goes in Sainsbury's. So I imagine the lady that said someone that stank was talking about him. Um, so they got up and left eventually, and went out the way. The mother went, "Come on, lads," and they all went out. And then a bald-headed man came in with a pair of jeans on that had a skull on the leg with D-I-E on it in capital letters, die. And he sat there for about 5 minutes opposite me, looked round to see if I'd noticed, and then he went. I'd never seen him in there before, this bald guy. He looked like the hitman. So I still stayed in there. And then later on, there was a loud banging in the men's toilets, like someone was kicking the hand towel machine in. And this guy walked out, and I'll show you what he did. He walked out of the gents' toilets, and he did this. He went, and the female staff was quite frightening. Went, "Oh, he usually does that." So that's what it's like in Chatham Library for me. So I left the library, went into the Demeltzer charity shop, and all I purchased was a DVD for 50p, and here it is. The Great Ghost Rescue. Join the hunt for the perfect haunt. Kevin McKidd in it, Stephen McIntosh and Emma Fielding. Join the hunt for the perfect haunt. And that was a film made in 2011, and I just got that. And I left. Walked up the high street as everyone looked at me as if they wanted to stab me in the heart. And I tried to get home without being accosted, because everybody was looking at me as if they hated me and wanted to strangle me, to be honest. It was quite frightening coming home yesterday. I just remember seeing a David lookalike with his curly blonde hair with a young lad, and the lad was going as I was walking home. It wasn't pleasant. So I continued home, shut myself in the flat, bolted myself in, and watched DVDs, watched The Budget with Philip Hammond. And I agree with Jeremy Corbyn. The country is in a terrible state. Old people are dying. And Jeremy Corbyn said life expectancy has fallen, not risen, it's fallen since Theresa May has been in power, and that cancer patients are waiting a long time. People's wages have not been increased, and obviously homeless people are dying freezing cold in the streets, and I expect they will in Chatham this year, as a few people died last year. I myself am freezing cold in my flat. I can't afford to heat it every single day. And that's life, and you get on with it. But does Philip Hammond really know what it is like to be poor and have no heating in the freezing cold when he's laughing and making jokes about toilets on the television yesterday? Does he really know what it feels like not to be able to feed your children? And he didn't do anything about domestic violence at all, as Jeremy Corbyn said. He's not giving money to refugees, so domestic violence victims have got no homes to go. They're forced to live with the perpetrator because refugees are shutting down. So I wasn't impressed with the budget at all. He's supposed to be helping people with mental illness, which is good, but is he actually doing enough? I don't think so. He's all right there, standing up in his suit and making light-hearted fun of something that's quite serious. But at the end of the day, he goes home to his wife, whatever, a nice home that's heated and a plate full of food. So I wasn't impressed, no.